Hello, I'm your host, Heather Smith. Welcome to the Accounting Apps Podcast, where we explore the accounting and business apps community. Today's episode is part of a series of 6 interviews recorded at the Oracle NetSuite Cloud World and SuiteWorld conferences, which were held in Las Vegas in September 24. I encourage you to subscribe and add them to your playlist. In this episode, I speak with Matt Lowry, who is the Chief Revenue Officer at ApprovalMax. Matt is a commercially minded and proactive revenue leader with a SaaS scale-up experience. His particular areas of expertise include a go-to-market strategy, revenue operations, sales, special projects, and customer experience. Matt and I have known each other for a few years, and he was representing ApprovalMax on the floor of the SuiteWorld conference. So I jumped at the opportunity to speak with him and get his perspective on the conference. And that was also the first time ApprovalMax had exhibited at this conference, and they have only recently sort of joined the Oracle NetSuite marketplace. So during this episode, we discuss the vastness and the variety of activities at the NetSuite SuiteWorld event, including a pottery studio and a bird conservatory. We discuss the attendees' keen interest in learning about third-party apps and the experience of being a first-time exhibitor. And the importance of cloud integrators and technology solution providers in the NetSuite ecosystem as they play a crucial role in helping clients implement and integrate solutions. So as we recorded this episode, we were actually walking around the hall. So there's a lot of energy you can feel from us walking around the hall. So I hope you enjoy that. I'll also highlight that afterwards, Matt wrote a LinkedIn post about how in the mid-market, the ERP space, the third-party apps don't offer a free trial and they tie you into an annual contract. So I think it was that it's so complex to undertake the implementation, and the implementation will take 2 to 3 months before you get it correct, that they don't offer that free trial. And so he found that a lot of people who were coming to speak with them were locked into a solution that wasn't working for them, but they were locked into that annual contract. So it was kind of something interesting there. I know ApprovalMax, sort of one of its things is it says it's actually really easy to implement and roll out quite quickly. So that was kind of experience of being in the market there and sort of first time exhibitor and learning what other people are doing, what other exhibitors and vendors are doing there. So on my blog, you'll find detailed show notes to accompany this podcast, including a link to Matt's LinkedIn post. And for those looking to earn free CPE, be sure to head over to the Earmark app and take the quiz for the other podcasts in this series. This one's probably going to be a bit too short, so probably won't make the cut, but the other ones in the series shall. So finally, thank you to the Oracle NetSuite team for hosting me at your conference.
Hello, Matt Lowry. Welcome to the Accounting Apps Podcast. Lovely to have you on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I think we've known each other maybe for 5 or 8 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So you're here at your very first Oracle NetSuite SuiteWorld 2024 in Las Vegas, and you're here representing with ApprovalMax.
That's correct. Yeah, first SuiteWorld. Really excited to kind of connect with prospects and customers in the States and the ecosystem.
Absolutely. So let's go back a bit and explain to our listeners, who are you, and tell us a little bit about your journey to being Chief Revenue Officer. Is that correct? At ApprovalMax.
Yeah, it's quite a strange journey in a way. So I'll actually start by explaining the accent, which is a little bit funky. So I'm British Canadian, so born in England, grew up on the east coast of Canada for 8 years on a tiny island, and went back to England. So that explains the accent. Actually, originally
So you speak two languages, English and Canadian?
Yeah,
Eight.
and also French-Canadian, so almost like two and a half.
Three languages.
But yeah, then actually originally come have a legal background, which kind of worked a couple of jobs there, decided I actually prefer the commercial side. Ended up working at a PLC as head of customer experience, and then decided I wanted to work for a smaller company, and then an Australian software firm, Fathom, were opening up the UK office. So myself and a colleague, Andrew Jordan, worked there and set it up in late 2018. And that kind of brought me to the world of accounting and fintech. And then about 18 months ago, ended up moving over to Approval Max.
Goodness, that is certainly quite the journey. So I imagine with a legal background, that probably gives you a really good understanding of contractual relationships, negotiating, and partner relationships, I imagine. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, for sure. And it's quite interesting because moving into the accounting space, a lot of people, a lot of the discourse is about accountants being really behind in tech and stuff. And if you go to the legal market, yeah, you see accountants are way more forward-thinking than the legal market. It's all Word, Excel, no tech, no nothing. So having that insight kind of...
So lawyers love their spreadsheets as well. Is that what you're saying to me?
They can't really work them with the numbers, but they like to stay with what they're familiar with. And the whole billable hour and all those sorts of themes, obviously they translate pretty well from any professional services, including the law.
Oh, that certainly is interesting. Look, and I think it's always... there's always something you can bring to everything, whatever your background is. So, tell our listeners, now we have had Approval Max on the show a few times, but just give our listeners a brief overview of what Approval Max is.
Yes, we're a tool that helps you kind of create robust financial controls across your AP and AR processes. So, we integrate with NetSuite, obviously, hence why we're here, as well as a few other GL systems like Xero, QBO, and Sin7 Core. And we pull through the documents and take users outside of the GL so they can put it through a multi-tier, multi-layered approval process. So you're triaging it to who needs to approve it when they need to approve it. So it's super, super slick and easy for the approvers. Oh. And it means that when it goes back into the GL, the person has confidence in terms of the person making the payment that's gone through that approval process. So that's that in a nutshell. There's obviously a lot more kind of sophisticated features as well. Like we have Capture now and Pay, kind of two new add-ons, as well as fraud detection features. But it's all about basically creating that system and having that trust in the system that everything is happening as it should do, so you don't misfire a payment.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're here at NetSuite. How would you... Oh, my goodness, what's going on here? Okay, we're walking around the studio floor, the expo floor at NetSuite, and we've actually just come across a pottery studio.
It does look very nice,
yes.
actually. Yeah.
It looks beautiful. So what NetSuite do a really good job of is showcasing users, showcasing clients. So it was quite a shock. Because the other day, yesterday, there was... dog petting. Pause for pause.
Wow.
Pause for pause. P-A-U-S-E for P-A-W-S, yes. But I thought it would be quite stressful for the dog for me to go and pat the dog. So
yeah.
I just looked at the dog. So describe SuiteWorld for our listeners.
It's actually quite hard to describe. So I've done a lot of accounting events before globally, both at Fathom and Approval Max, and I guess the first thing to say about SuiteWorld is it's very, very big. We've now stumbled across a bird conservancy, which is kind of cool.
The American Bird Conservancy. So it seems to be providing us education about bird conserving. So
that's new as well, actually. I've not seen that at an event before, but no,
they bring out a new thing every day.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. But no, it's been a great event. Really, really big, both in terms of the size of the sprawl of the event, because there's two different expos going on, as well as just the number of people.
Massive.
Yeah,
it's
it
massive.
is.
So 18,000 people.
Lots of maps are needed to get around, but no, it's good, and they're putting on a good show and looking after everyone, which is great. It's great to see.
Oh, that's good. So as a exhibitor here, you're feeling very looked after.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And we're now coming up to I think it's the thermo people. And what thermotherapy people, and what you can do here, if in case you didn't know, is you lie there and you get those leg bubbles put on your legs. And I don't know what they do, but it looks very exciting.
Yeah.
Then there's all these people lying with these big TheraBody, TheraBody body, a wellness solution harnessing the power of technology to enhance recovery and health. And you have to wear pants, and you got pants on.
That is true. I think they might be quite busy tomorrow morning after the party. So,
yeah, but if you manage to get in early after the party. But they've got a few things there. They've got a facial one as well. I'd love to get on the aeroplane with the facial one.
Yeah.
And scare people. Well, that's really great to hear that it's all going well for you. What sort of clients in the ERP area, in the ERP ecosystem, are suited to you?
Yeah, so it's quite an interesting question because we don't really focus on any specific vertical. So we're vertical agnostic. We do have kind of quite a lot of construction clients and NFPs and stuff, but it's more happenstance than anything else. In terms of like where we play well, so if someone's quite new to NetSuite, works out as quite a nice bridging gap. So you don't have to add all of the users onto the platform like immediately. They can have a lot in Approval Max, which is quite good. And then they can almost graduate and go along that journey to become closer to the IPO companies that they've been showcasing this morning at the keynote. But yeah, in terms of that, you need kind of 2 or more approvers processing probably a couple, like 100 documents a month maybe for the NetSuite instance. And then you can kind of come and take a look.
And there's a lot of the whole market floor is split into 2. One is Suite World and one is Cloud World. And there's actually like it takes about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, maybe you can do it faster, to walk between the 2. So I think I did 16 kilometres yesterday. Wow. But the other thing that it's worth noting is there's a lot of what I would call cloud integrators or technology solution providers here. So what is your relationship with those sorts of people here?
Yes, we look to partner with them, and it kind of makes natural sense because they want to have apps like us who can help make their clients' lives even easier. And ultimately, they exist to try and make that implementation to NetSuite seamless. And NetSuite is so broad that a lot of these people who are moving up to the ERP space want help as to where they should focus. That's where obviously the partners come in. And if the partner's then educated and understands what we do, they know to implement financial controls for those clients who they deem might need it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was on the High Roller, which is their name for the Ferris wheel here in Las Vegas. And the lady I was speaking to, she said her integrator didn't understand what was out there and didn't understand their business, and they just felt the whole thing was going quite haphazardly, which was unfortunate for them.
Nice.
And it's a big world, and it's very, very complicated, and it's about finding the integrator perhaps who understands that niche and sort of that industry that you're in and can really work with you on that. But a lot of people tell me that the NetSuite partners who is assigned to you, there's a very, very deep relationship there, which is great to see. And people are like, this partner is a friend and is part of my business. So they seem to do quite a good job of rolling it out. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for joining me on the podcast. What has been your 1 or 2 takeaways of attending this event, and how can people get in contact with you?
So I think key takeaway is just the amount of depth of applications that I think the prospects and the audience here need. So it's quite interesting compared to other conferences I've been to with other GL systems. The NetSuite audience kind of really seem keen to try these different third-party apps, whether it's ourselves or other apps on the show floor here today. So I think a key takeaway for me personally is the education of the audience to know when it is appropriate, when it's not appropriate to introduce a solution like Approval Max, and just how we can integrate and really partner with NetSuite to make sure that we're ultimately providing a seamless service to the prospects and the audience. Get in touch with me, however you want to. There's obviously LinkedIn, so just type my name in there, Approval Max, I'll hopefully come up. Matt.Lowry@approvalmax.com as well, or just email sales and it will ultimately come to me if you want to get in touch that way as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us on the Accounting
Thanks,
Apps
Heather.
podcast,
Appreciate
Matt.
it.